Alan, so how can we prepare, not being in that comfort zone of my employer is planning my retirement? It's their sole responsibility. How do we go about this?
What you've said is the plan is not the employer's, is not the government's, is not somebody else's, it's personal responsibility. Now, unfortunately, when we get into employment, we hardly ever have that perspective. I needed a job, I've gotten a job, thank you, Lord, and I forget about everything else.
Yeah.
So let me ask you another question. Has anybody saved money from their last salary? 2 or 3 people put up their hands. And then I say, how much money have you saved from the previous month's salary? More silence, but life is hard, Okay, so I say, let's do a bit of maths. If you didn't save anything from your last 2 months' salary, what is the chance that you will save anything from this month's salary? 0, right? Can you tell me how much you will save 1 year from now? 0, because you've given me the trend. You have no plans to save anything for the rest of your employment. Now, when people say things like that, it helps me to remind them that, hey, you came to this job because you wanted money, right? Why don't you accumulate it? Create some value with it. You give it all away every single month. Please live within your means. Yes, that's a nice story. But what I'm saying is take responsibility.
Yeah.
You know the future is coming. You're not saving any money, which is the basic output from a job. How do you expect to survive?
That leads me to the next question. How do I get maximum value from my employment?
I think it's important to realize that employment is a wealth generating partnership. Employers have a strategic plan to make money by the end of the year, what they're going to save, they're going to invest. So I ask employees, do you have a strategic plan for this job? How can your employer be so sure that they're going to pay you? Now, if your employer has a plan and you don't have a plan, guess who's benefiting?
The employer.
Exactly.
Because the employee doesn't have a plan.
So you need to have a plan if you are working with somebody who has a plan.
That's quite profound.
Many employees come to job without a plan. They don't have a plan for their money. They don't have a plan for their career, plan for the family. They just want to earn money for the day. And you know what? That plan works. You simply earn money for the day and you eat everything for the day and nothing happens tomorrow.
They say tomorrow will take care of itself.
But if you don't have a plan, then you have a plan. That's the plan, not to have a plan. So what can you expect? Plan to save 10 shillings every month. It becomes a plan.
Wow.
And you can begin to realize it. If you don't have a plan to save anything, it won't happen. This is a very painful thing. Some of the people began to weep 20 million shillings over your employment career. I ask you where that 20 million went. I got the latest fashion. How has that increased your net worth? If you stay in a rented house and you are diligent at paying your rent, your landlord will be very happy with you. And you'll be very happy that your landlord doesn't come and knock on your door every month. But the day he tells you, please, it's time to leave, he won't give you a window or a door. You will repaint it and you will put it in the state it was. That money you have paid in rent adds nothing to your net worth. You've paid for convenience, but you have not created wealth. If you know you're going to live in a house for the rest of your life, so why don't you build yours?
Wow.
Now, that's what I mean by strategy. You look and you say, this is going to be a need for me for all time. I need a house.
Awesome. I like that. So our take home from what you just said is let's have a plan because the employer already has a strategic plan. So it will be detrimental for you as an employee to get into employment without a plan. Please expound a little bit on employment is a wealth generating partnership.
Why do you think your employer hired? Because you look nice? Because you have skills? No, that's not why he hired you. He's in this to make money and you are going to help him make that money. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's a partnership. You help me, I help you create wealth. You have your CPA, diploma in marketing. The reason the employer sifts through is to see if you will help them achieve their objectives. You as an employee also should sit down and say, what objectives do I have? How will they help me to achieve my goals? Now, your employer is not responsible for your goals. Make it a plan. Start saving now. Put aside the money. Employment is a partnership. Remember, the employer can't do it all himself.
Yeah.
And so he needs the people. It's a voluntary contract. There is no taking advantage. You sign the dotted line. Here's something I want to tell you that you will shock very many employees. Did you know that you fund your own job?
Explain that.
You applied for a job and you're told, okay, you've got a contract. You're very excited, right?
Extremely.
Extremely excited. When were you paid? Were you paid on the first day?
No.
At the end of the month. So who funded those 30 days?
I did.
You funded those 30 days.
Yeah.
You borrowed from your brother, your sister, your mother. Now, this is very important, Isabella, because I want you to remember when you were paid on the 30th of that month, where did the employer get that money?
From my services.
Think about that. So the employer does not remove a shilling until you have been productive.
Wow.
If your employer can make money from your skills, why aren't you doing it for yourself? I may be a little bit unfair there, but for some people, they don't have the discipline.
That's why you're working for somebody.
Employer will not give you that money unless he's making 3, 4, 5 times as much money off you.
Okay, let me cut you short there. There is always this one individual in every office that is always roaming around with a bottle of water that has some lemon inside. When everybody else is working, they just never seem to be as productive or working like with full concentration like everybody else. So even if I miss work 2 weeks, I'll still get my pay. How does it work in those instances? What of these individuals who they just there to pass time? Their output is quite minimal.
You've said it. Their pay is they are wasting their time. If you're unproductive, you lack the discipline to work, then you find a place to waste your time. You're not just wasting your employer's time. You are wasting your own time. Just what I mean. Think of yourself as an entrepreneur. And many employees feel that, oh, I'm employed, I'm not an entrepreneur. You are an entrepreneur. You have employed yourself.
Wow. A light bulb moment.
Think like an employer. Who would actually want to hire you? Would you hire yourself with that kind of behavior? It's a joke, but it's a very sick joke because you think you're earning free money, but you're actually wasting time that you would have earned money.
You are an entrepreneur.
Yes.
I don't think we look at it that way. We go to work and work and then expect a salary at the end of the month. But now you're challenging us to think of to take our jobs as our enterprises.
Exactly.
Wow.
When Alan goes to work, he has been deployed by, of course, Alan to get Alan sustenance, personal development, capital, skills, knowledge, wisdom.